fruit fly, that's one of my absolute hates. Now, I reckon if Mr. Albanese told everyone in Australia to buy a couple of these, buy one of these twice a year, we'd probably be able to get rid of fruit flies. Because this is what they call a male annihilation trap. So I buy these in big packets. You can buy them, I think, singly, I think in Bunnings, I think. They'll keep indefinitely in the fridge. So you put that together, you hang it out in the tree, and that will kill male fruit flies. So it's obviously got the scent of the female, so the male comes to mate with it, feeds on it. So that's just a cotton wick, but it's got a toxin in there. So when he feeds on it, it just kills him, drops dead, bang, he's finished. So no males, no mating with females, no stinging. So if we could wipe out the entire male population, we'd be right. So the horticulture industry.
Was that just for fruit flies? Or?
Depends who you ask.
So that's that one. So when you put them out in the paddock, because I recommend about, I think it's 5 per hectare, and that's just as basically you just put them out there, just yeah.
So one in a little backyard garden would be plenty, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's the same. So the other thing is, and I get them through Bugs for Bugs, and he's got a trap that I decided, rather than constantly buying all of his traps, I'd make my own. So I'm sure we all get a kilo of honey occasionally. So there's your fruit fly trap. So it's drill a hole in the top, drill some 10, 12 mils to the side, and that one, see, that hasn't been used because it's still got steel on it. So then you put that inside of it, and what I always do is I date them. Because that in the paddock, hanging in the paddock on its own, subject to rain, dust, all the elements, they say Bugs for Bugs do 4 different colours, so they say replace it every 3 months. So I've worked out by leaving them there, you get 6 months plus. So I just do 2 batches a year. So then if you're not using them, well, the old spare fridge that used to be a drink fridge, well, my spare fridge is a glue and other things fridge. So I've always got a box of those in there. So then you know these will last you probably a few years. Bugs for Bugs makes really strong ones that'll probably last you. I think I've still got some in my paddock from when I first bought the farm 6 years ago, but they're really starting to wear out. So
why wouldn't you just hang it up in the tree? Why do you need the container?
that way then. So that's the good thing that I bought down this one here. 21st to the 5th, I put it out. Now, if you can count that many fruit flies in there, you can tell me, as I say, that's not many for a month. They're all dead males. So I come along periodically, sometimes I'm bored, and I just run through the paddock and open them all up. And you just open them all up, and you empty them all out, and then you just keep looking at it. So certain times of year, you're going to look at it a lot more than others, whereas this time of year, I'm not too fussed.
So it's just to get a visual thing.
Yeah, it gives you a big picture then of how many males are there. So you know that there's a huge amount out in the paddock. There's a lot of them aren't catching and they're mating with the females, and then going to come and sting the fruit. So that's the other thing is, like, what's the new 2? It's about 15 or 20 in a month. So that's not many.
And
so
with
this time of year, they drop right down to cold weather.
And with those, John, you don't get any fruit fly sting?
No, I'll get into that. So that's the male.
Yeah.
So that mat cup male annihilation trap only kills males.
Yeah.
Because it obviously smells like a female.
Mm.
So they've tried for some strange reason to have female traps and they don't work too well.
Uh-huh.
And the government's even bred ones that won't reproduce in certain areas. Like if you go to Victoria, that's why I used to have the tick gates at the border. Everything had to get checked with fruit and all that sort of stuff, and fruit fly was the big problem. Same as Tasmania, you can't send a lot of stuff to Tasmania, like the plants, as you know.
Mm.
So they're so they don't really like the cold stuff. So this time of year they drop right down in numbers. But when you get into the warm times of year and it's hot and humid, it just goes nuts. So what you do, you use that as a monitoring source, and then there's another thing that I use, which is yeast or tolisate. So now again, there's a couple of different versions here. There's a new one out now called Natural Lure, I think it's called, which has got active constituents spinosad, which is organic registered again. So So it's ready to use. You buy that in a container. I buy the yeast, and then I mix it up. And I only put the yeast out when I think I need to. And it depends on your crop. And I'll actually find something here. Let's just pass it around, look at it, and you'll be shocked as to probably when you understand how fruit fly. I think that's double sided now. I just spat that off the computer the other day. So in colour, if you go on the Bugs for Bugs website, you can see that in colour. Now his website's absolutely brilliant. If you haven't ever been in there, go and have a look, because all these things I'll tell you, plus a truckload more, all on his website. And he's the bloke that's been breeding good bugs for a long, long time. So, but you look at the amount of fruit. I think every fruit that I know is on that list, and there's massive amounts of veggies as well. So people probably don't really think that veggies get hit by fruit fly, but they do. So, but the thing with the fruit fly is the reproductive cycle. It all happens incredibly fast. So once the male's mated with the female eats some protein, and it goes and stings your fruit. So when it stings your fruit, it pushes its eggs inside, so they hatch out. So then the larvae grow, and it's usually within 5-7 days it exits the fruit, falls on the ground. Within 2 weeks it's flying back around, being a male or a female again, ready to go again. So if we could wipe out fruit flies in the country, especially in Queensland, it'd be a marvellous thing for horticulture, so and for fruit. And because most of your big commercial farmers, not saying all, but and it is changing rapidly. Stone fruit's one of the worst for fruit fly problems. Is pervasive. We're getting one of those lovely chemicals, and they just drown the whole crop. Blanket spray it all the fruit every 7 to 14 days. So that's what we've been eating all our lives, things like that. So they should be on organic fruit since you were born. You've probably consumed a lot of things, but yeah. So there's ways. So that fruit fly system works, but you just got to be religious about it. You've got to monitor it all. And then when you know you're getting a lot of fruit fly, then you need to use the yeast or the natural lure. So with the yeast, like you mix it with the toxicant again, so you've got to mix it with a chemical, but you don't go and spray your entire tree or your fruit. So if you've got a row of trees, what I normally do is I spray the trunks of the trees, or I'll pick a tree with there's next to no fruit, and I'll just spray the foliage bit, or you can go and spray the gum tree right next door, doesn't matter. Because that yeast is what brings the fruit fly in, because they feed on the yeast, and then that toxin kills the fruit fly. So you're not drowning every bit of fruit with a bad chemical. So it's a good way of sort of doing things much better. The only other way, and I use a lot of these, and I sell these as well, but they're good for a small tree.
Is that a net?
And that's a fruit fly net.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my biggest problem on my farm is scrub turkeys. And I've been bagging bananas like the last 2 weeks constant. Last season they obliterated my banana patch. There was 20 turned up in one go, and I must have been, I don't know, something very busy, and then it just annihilated like quarter acre would have been ladyfingers. So, but yeah, they're fantastic. And then last year the stone fruit trees down in the grape patch was the first year I picked every single one of those trees with no fruit fly because I covered it with these. So whereas periods before I've probably used traps, but I haven't been back there to put the yeast out to kill the female. So I haven't had time. So these work a treat, but unfortunately you won't put about 30 big trees. So what's that? 2.4 by 2.8. So I know the trees that I'm pruning at the moment, and that's another talk again from pruning trees, but the stone fruit trees, I get back down to a maximum just above head height, and then you shape them all out, and then have all your little side spurs, and then you've got to thin all the fruit out to get the side fruit. So those nets will cover those. Anything sort of, a reasonable size. And the next alternative is you can get that in a big roll, which is 6 metres wide if you want to start doing, which I think I'm going to do in time. Some of the things I'm just going to do the whole road. So I'll build hoops and just do the whole road at that right time of year. So just cover it with net. So